Well, friends, we finally got our first frost of the winter. As you guys can see, this hillside no longer looks lush and green. It's starting to look more like brown and dead. So these basil plants are going to be getting pulled out here pretty soon. I do have some little baby basils growing right underneath them. I think I'm going to pull them out and I'm going to put them in the greenhouse and save them for next season. So I believe that basils are pretty hardy to cold temperatures but not to frost, and that's the reason why, as you can see, they're all brown. All of my hillside up there, my other variety of basil up there, and I noticed that my moringa was also getting some damage from this. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to basically chop all the moringa off. This trunk is going to make it. It's going to be just fine for the winter. I might have to chop it down and then let it grow more like a bush. So let's go ahead and do that. Here we are, friends. I'm going to collect as much moringa as I can, and I'm going to put them in a little drying rack that I have. And just try to use this in recipes in the form of a powder. So let's see how this goes. That. My moringa that's in the greenhouse is actually doing just fine, and I believe it will continue to do just fine in the greenhouse, because the only thing that damaged this was the frost. Oh, I don't think I could reach that high. I had some fall on my face. There we go. That's it, guys. Look at this. Just a long stick now. This is all the moringa that we harvest. Well, friends, I went ahead and rinsed these off. As you can see, there's tons of water in them. Well, not tons, but just enough to get rinsed. And what I'm going to do is put them inside this net. Let me set you guys up. Alright, so I decided to buy this net on Amazon. And I'm going to put some of these moringas in here so they can start getting dry. Spread them out, and then what I'm going to do is just take them and use the powder on my recipes. There you go. See that? Alright, and then look at this. What do I have in here so far? Whoa. I have some oregano that I need to put in a container, which I'll probably do that right now. I'm gonna have some chilies that I'm trying to save the seeds because I really enjoy these chilies on the salsa that I've been making. I have some onion and I have some more oregano. But these are the flowers, so I'm trying to save some flowers, some seeds for my oregano. Let's go see. So I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna take my little walk. I'm gonna come back and take this inside. I dropped a few leaves, so I'm going to take them to Coco. Since she's lonely over there, I'm also going to take her some tomatoes so she can enjoy them. I took the other girls an apple that I had on the counter that's been sitting there that the girls would not eat. So I'm going to take that to Coco. Let's go take that to her. Hey, Coco. I brought you a treat. Some moringa and some tomatoes. Well, friends, this guava that I just recently got, it is a red strawberry guava. I thought it was frost tolerance, but as you can see, it's not. So what I'm going to do is take this in the greenhouse. That way it can continue to grow over the winter, and when I put it in the ground, it can get really well established. So I need some water too. I'm going to take that over there. Let's go ahead and move that. And took some cuttings. I'm not sure, it's really hot in here. I'm surprised how how hot it is in here compared to outside. So this greenhouse is definitely doing a good job. Sorry, I'm not directly looking at you, but I'm looking for my rooting hormone so I can try to root this just in case the chili plant I made. The chili plant. I'll put it in here. That's it, guys. Super easy. It is warm in here, guys. Super warm. So I'm going to be bringing a little avocado, literally named Little Avocado. But it's a little avocado tree that I have inside the greenhouse also to protect it from this frost that we have coming. This guava, I'm not sure how well I'll do. I'll check. Technically this has protection, but I don't want to worry about it. So I am going to take it inside. I'm going to stop using all of these leaves because they don't break down The only thing I would think that, or I suggest that the leaves are good for is to help insulate heat for your plants. But as far as them feeding your plants, breaking down and doing good for them, I do not think that's the case. So there's my little avocado next to my guava. I'm gonna bring some wood chips over here, and I'm just gonna kind of browse through here to make sure there's nothing else being affected by the frost. Let's see. Let's go look at my pink guava. Let's see. It doesn't look like they got frost damage. So I think this is okay out here. So I'm not to worry about this one. So that's a good sign. It could be that it's a little insulated here by the surrounding. There's some trees. It's like a nice little pocket here. So maybe the frost doesn't hit this as hard as it did on the hillside. So we're good with this tree. Don't have to worry about it. In the past, this was one of the trees that I was very concerned about. It was under a cover, so it was fine. This is going to be, actually this is going to be the second year that it's out in the open, so I think we're okay. I'm just trying to take all of these dead leaves off. So, okay, so I'm not going to worry about this. I'll come and check it. If for some reason it starts acting up, it's getting damaged, I'll just move it closer to that oak tree. Citrus do so well with frost, so they are just fine. You can tell that it needs a little bit of fertilizer. And you might think, well, it's winter. Why are you going to fertilize it? Well, I'm not going to do the usual fertilizer. I'm going to add some compost because it's in a container. So you guys got to remember that the nutrients that is in the container, you know, gets drained when you water it. So it doesn't have a lot of nutrients in there. So you have to fertilize a lot more often than you would a tree in the ground. So that is where we are at, friends. Let's continue looking around and see what needs caring. Look at this. Where is that boot I had? You guys see that? I am so impressed and cannot wait for this to get big, green, and yellow. I mean, you know, it's going to be green first and then yellow, and then taste this because I've never even seen it in the stores. There's some new buds coming all over this. So my Meyer lemons are coming in. Well, friends, I'm all over the place today. This is going to be just a random video. I want to show you guys what I have going on. I've been cleaning out this whole area, moving pots around. Big trees, I've been putting them here. What I'm trying to create is something like that flows and it's easy to take care of. So all the little plants that were right here, I'm moving them near the greenhouse so I can take care of them while I'm in the greenhouse, since I'll be spending a lot of the winter time over there. A lot of the fruit trees in containers like this that are frost hardy, I'm leaving them where they're at, and I'm bunching them together for two reasons. One, so they can insulate each other and give each other warmth. Two, so it's easy to water. So this helps a lot, and also it's in a sunny spot. So these big trees, all my big trees that are in containers that I've had for years, are staying right up front here. They're basically lining up to get potted somewhere up in the hillside or in the orchard side of my garden. But all the little plants that I had here, I'm leaving, like this one I put here. I'm going to put some bigger plants like this that won't overgrown, and all the pots that are still in nursery pots, I'm putting them on top of bigger pots, because that way when I water, I am multi-watering. You know, it's trickling down to the lower tree, and then that way it also helps insulate the roots from the harsh winter that we're about to get. Well, I wouldn't say harsh because it's still hot here in December, so you know, for us and for some of these plants it might be harsh. I'm not sure how well this guava is going to do, so I decided to put that over for the frost. And look at how open this is. I'll be able to walk here. My goal is to put a little fence going along here and grow another passion fruit. So when I come in here, it's green and lush. I am super excited about that. And I hope that that I can do that this upcoming spring, or maybe work on it during the winter, since, you know, not much is going on in the garden when it comes to taking care of and doing things. So here are still a lot of fruit trees in containers. All of these have to go in the ground here soon. I might be working, if I have time, can also work on building the cages. These are all the pots that I brought over here, and I'm just lining them up here. Some of these need, like these are dragon fruits. Look at that heart. I am going to cut them into pieces, put them in their own individual container like this, so I can propagate them. All these need a new pot, so I'm going to be working on all of these succulents for a new location for them. And I'm just gonna stack them here and organize all of this. I need to organize all of this. I was missing a shelf, so I got that shelf, and I'm going to actually put it right as low as I can put it, so that way I can stack up stuff like right at where the level of the light is, and then I can stack these or any extra stuff right under there, and that way I have more space to work with. So that's what I'm gonna be doing right now. I'm gonna bring you guys along so you guys can see the time lapse of what I'm doing. I'm trying to do this really quick, and then the last thing I'm gonna do is water. I'm not gonna propagate things today. On my next day off, that will be a project that maybe we can do together, and we can figure it out. Today I'm focusing on just organizing everything, setting it up. That way when I have time, I'm gonna come here, enjoy this greenhouse, and work on little things at a time. So let's get started. The nice thing about organizing the greenhouse is that even though it's cold outside, it's pretty warm in here and it feels really good. It's also very satisfying to be able to move around my plants, organize them, look and see how wonderful they're growing. Hopefully they can continue to thrive here through the winter and ready to be installed in the ground or maybe into a bigger pot once spring hits. I'm so looking forward to spring because I have so many plans coming out for this new spring. Like I mentioned in the past, a lot of things that I got done last year didn't seem like it was much, but once you look at it, there really was a lot that I got done. I also wanted to add an extra shelf here for this shelving because I wanted to have a little bit more space to store things under the shelf, and also to be able to put plants here. So that's what I'm going to do. As you can see, it's going to give me more ability to put plants on the shelf and store extra containers or trays underneath the shelves that really doesn't get that much sun, so it's really not useful unless maybe I'm propagating something that requires little to no sun, maybe like some succulents, especially during the summer. That would be a perfect spot to try to propagate them. I'm pretty excited so far with all the things that I'm propagating. I have some fire sticks, as you can see on the top left corner of the shelves. I have some string of bananas that I'm also propagating. I'm also going to try to propagate some Mexican sage. That's right, that's what it's called, Mexican sage. Hopefully that takes as well, and maybe some rosemary as well, since there is so much space in the garden to put rosemary, and you can never have enough rosemary. You can always dry it out and gift them. You can add them as little pieces to add to a gift as a decorative piece. I mean, there's endless possibilities with rosemaries. Now that I did most of the organizing, I'm going to try to water all these plants to make sure they get plenty of water so they can stay well hydrated. That's also very important to do when it's cold and windy, because you might think that they don't need any water because it's cold and windy, but believe it or not, when it's windy, your plants do dry out and they do need water just as much as a sunny day. Think about it, they're getting dried out, the wind's going through basically the little leaves, is going through everything and is going to dry out the tree, and the tree is going to drink more from the soil that it's in, and most likely if you don't have a good amount of mulch, that soil will be getting dry out as well. So just make sure to give it good watering, especially on the days. Well, friends, this will conclude the video. I'm excited to have you here and that we got some work done. Don't forget to plan something, create something beautiful and useful. You have a blessed day.